Hey, my name is Segneri. This is the 5th time I've done this video. I keep going over like 11 minutes, so I'm going to have to talk fast. 5 construction types. Type 1 is a non-combustible, fire resistant, made mostly of steel. Can be concrete. Concrete's and steel is going to be encased in material. Helps with the 3 to 4 hours that it permits. For imminent collapse, the steel can get up to about 1200 degrees once it's encased, prior to it really losing its structural integrity. School offices, high rises. In our example in our area is our ECC building, which is our communication center, which is also used as a gathering area for all our leaders when there's a hurricane, so they'll get together and plan from there. Non-structural items are what's going to contribute to a lot of the fire. It's got firewalls attached to it as well, which can create a lot of heat. And then when they're opened up, that's where a lot of the problems can arise within the contents of it. And they heat up in these compartments. And then when we go in and search and we open that up, it introduces oxygen, so it can spread that way. Ventilation and making entry, either roof access or windows, is very difficult because all these times these aren't opening windows, they're just windows. So roof access can be a lot more difficult because of the components. Everything's made of steel, everything's encased. They're always doing maintenance on it to make sure there's no cracks. That's a big part of the integrity of that building. Dangers of this are what I just kind of talked about, and there's the egress problem with the windows. It's the same as making access. So these are all characteristics that can be a problem with type 1. Type 2 is a non-combustible. In our area, it's more of like an industrial park type situation where it's made of steel, but it's got about a half the time of fire resistance before there's potential for collapse. One of the examples in our area is our Chris Craft building and our 10-8 building, where we've got our Pierce Manufacturing, where we have our engines worked on, and Chris Craft's the boat builder. And these big steel buildings, a lot of their difficulties can be the collapses sooner, and a lot of the contents. The contents can be a lot of bad stuff. Like we've got methyl ethyl ketone is one of the compounding agents, and fiberglass, and all kinds of different stuff in these buildings that are very combustible, and we have to know that going into it. That's a huge hazard. And a lot of these times, these industrial parks, there's just a lot of stuff in it, so you got to be careful moving around in there. So the effects on the fire is going to depend a lot on the contents of these buildings as well. So usually they're going to have suppression systems, just like type 1, FDIC, sprinkler systems, a lot of these things. So type 3, residential house, like my house is a type 3 construction, where it's got exterior non-combustible. Interior materials are going to be wooden, so that's where a lot of the modern construction combustibles come in. A lot of voids up in the roof, in the attic, and the walls, and this creates a lot of opportunity for oxygen to let fires run throughout the house, which is dangerous. So we've got to worry about collapse. We've got to worry about making access in the correct areas and ventilating properly. Egress is not generally a problem with these type of residential structures unless they're hurricane-proof windows. Then we have to worry about that. But prefab trusses are a lot of them now with the modern construction, and they fail faster, they burn faster. You don't have a long period of time if it starts running through these voids. So we've got fire alarms in there, but that's about it, and then the hydrant on the road. So these are all issues for a firefighter. Type 4 is going to be heavy timber, large diameter, 8 inches plus. 2 hours is about the time that you get with the beams and the joints and the columns. Everything's rated higher because of the high diameter, large diameter of the wood used. So they're very stable, they're very fire resistant. So there's no voids in these, which is good. Sometimes they'll make it out of laminate though, some solid laminate, heavy diameter wood, but once fire takes hold of this, it'll melt the glue that holds these laminates together, and they're gonna fail sooner, be hotter, burn faster, collapse sooner. So these are all issues with these, and it depends on what type of structure it is, the use of it, what type of emergency equipment they're going to have with as far as FDIC or FTCs, and or if it's just going to be sprinkler systems, or if it's a residential, they might not. They'll just have smoke alarms like normal. We do not have any of these in our area. We've racked our brains between a bunch of us. I can't think of any. We live in Florida. Type 5 is a wood stick, so we got 2x4s, 2x6s, what they're made of. They're going to have veneers, which can trick you into thinking it's brick, but it's not. It's usually a siding. We've got a lot of single family and apartment complexes built like this, up to 3-4 floors with the apartments. These are newer prefab trusses, all stick, so they can light up in a hurry, especially 3-4 floor apartments made of stick. So generally, you know, they can be some legacy builds with our older style stick built homes in our area. You gotta have a lot of concern there with electrical generally, because they're older and it's all wood. There's going to be void spaces, and you never know what kind of remodeling job they're going to be doing either. So these are all issues. What time am I at? I'm doing pretty good this time. Only at 6 minutes. So yeah, with the apartment complexes, a lot of these are going up now, and they're all wood. So they're going to have these systems put in place, but they're going to burn fast. And if you've got to have access to roofs through our ladder companies, or getting up there through a ladder, you know, there's a lot of concerns with collapse in these, and the wooden frame ones, they're going to go up in a hurry. So we've got to do our search and rescues quickly when we get there. You never know what you're going to find in some of these older places around here. So a lot of dangers with the effects of the fire. It's going to spread quickly, obviously, because it's all wood. Type 5, yeah, so we've got our apartment complex in Lakewood Ranch here that's just going up. That is one, and I can, you know, in the zone I'm in right now, we've got tons of examples of these stick, you know, older built homes that were built, you know, 50, 60 years ago. And, you know, once they go, and then they end up just being leveled and put a new house on it. That's a type 3. That's generally what happens. So, you know, building construction is essential to know for our pre-estimate planning, the contents of it, what type of systems they have in place. And we have that all on our tactical plans here at Southern Manatee, so that's a huge help for us. You got to tour your zone and know what's going on around it, so that when you respond to a call, you know if they've got contents that are going to be a problem or not. A lot of tactical planning involved. So hope that helps, and I just got it in time.